7 signs God saw your pain and is responding now. Listen carefully, my beloved soul. This message is not random. You did not arrive here by chance. What you are about to hear is touching your life because God has been watching you in silence. Every tear you hid. Every prayer you whispered when no one was listening. Every night you questioned your worth. God saw all of it. And now the response has begun. Not later. Not someday. Now. The first sign is the sudden inner calm that appeared without explanation. You did not solve everything. Your situation did not magically disappear. Yet your heart feels lighter than before. That peace did not come from logic. It did not come from distraction. It came from divine reassurance. When God responds, He often calms the storm inside you before changing the world around you. That peace is not weakness. It is protection. It is God telling you that what is coming next will not break you. The second sign is the strange delays that started happening around you. Plans that should have worked suddenly paused. People who were meant to walk away hesitated. Doors that looked open closed quietly. You may have felt frustrated. But understand this clearly. God delays to protect. Some paths you wanted would have cost you more pain. Some people you begged to stay would have delayed your destiny. These pauses are divine hands intervening. You were being redirected even when you could not see it. The third sign is the exposure of hidden truths. Suddenly masks are slipping. Lies are being revealed. Intentions are becoming clear. You are seeing people for who they truly are. This is not coincidence. God never builds your future on deception. When He responds to your pain, He removes what was secretly hurting you. Even if it feels shocking. Even if it feels painful. Exposure is mercy. Truth is protection. The fourth sign is the return of memories and emotions you thought you healed. Old wounds surfaced. Past conversations replayed in your mind. You wondered why God would bring this back. Here is the truth. Healing happens in layers. God does not reopen wounds to hurt you. He reveals them so they can finally be healed completely. What resurfaced now is leaving forever. This is closure preparing space for new joy. The fifth sign is the quiet withdrawal of people who no longer align with your destiny. Conversations faded. Effort became one-sided. Distance formed naturally. You did not force it. It just happened. This is divine pruning. God removes what drains your spirit. You are not being abandoned. You are being protected. The less people around you now does not mean you lost value. It means God is refining your circle for what is coming next. The sixth sign is the sudden increase in spiritual awareness. You are noticing signs. You are hearing messages meant only for you. Words hit your heart differently now. You are more sensitive to energy. This awareness is not imagination. It is alignment. When God responds, He tunes your spirit so you can recognize His guidance. You are being prepared to walk with discernment instead of confusion. The seventh sign is the return of hope after a long season of exhaustion. You did not force optimism. It slowly returned. A quiet belief that something good is coming. That is divine confirmation. Hope is not emotional. It is spiritual. God plants it when He is already working behind the scenes. Understand this, my beloved soul. God does not ignore pain. He responds with precision. Everything shifting around you right now is not random. It is intentional. What hurt you will not have the final word. What broke you will not define you. You are standing at the edge of restoration. Stay grounded. Stay patient. Stay faithful. Because when God responds, He does not just fix what hurt you. He elevates you beyond it. Something huge is unfolding in your favor. Stay till the end of this season. You will look back and realize this was the moment everything quietly changed. Listen even more deeply now, my beloved soul, because what follows is not repetition, it is expansion. The response has already begun moving beneath the surface, and God is now strengthening you for what is unfolding. This next phase is not loud. It is not chaotic. It is precise. You may notice that your tolerance for disrespect, confusion, and emotional noise has quietly disappeared. Things you once accepted now feel heavy. Conversations that used to drain you now exhaust you faster. This is not arrogance. This is alignment. When God responds to pain, He raises your standards without you announcing it. Your spirit simply refuses what no longer matches its elevation. You are not becoming cold. You are becoming clear. And clarity is dangerous to anything that feeds on your confusion. You may also notice that your prayers are changing. Before, you begged. You pleaded. You questioned. Now your prayers feel calmer. Shorter. Stronger. You are no longer asking God to prove Himself. You are trusting Him to move. This shift did not come from strength alone. It came from survival. You have been through enough to know that God has carried you every time. This trust is a sign of maturity. When God responds, He turns desperation into confidence. You may not see the full picture yet, but your spirit already knows you are being handled. Another powerful movement happening right now is divine separation without drama. No arguments. No closure conversations. No explosions. Just silence. Just distance. Just fading. God is removing people without wounding you further. He is protecting your heart from another round of emotional warfare. What leaves quietly is not meant to return. And what stays now is being tested for loyalty, depth, and sincerity. Do not chase what is drifting. God never subtracts without intention. Every removal is making room for alignment that will not confuse you, question you, or wound you in secret. You may feel moments of loneliness that arrive suddenly and disappear just as fast. This is not emptiness. This is recalibration. God often pulls you into stillness before He elevates you. Silence is where instructions are refined. This season is teaching you how to sit with yourself without distraction. How to hear God without noise. How to trust without evidence. Loneliness is not punishment. It is preparation. You are learning how to stand whole without leaning on broken supports. Your intuition is also sharpening. You can sense when something is off. You feel when energy shifts. You notice when words do not match actions. This discernment is a gift activated through pain. God does not waste suffering. He turns it into sight. What once blindsided you will never catch you unaware again. You are not becoming suspicious. You are becoming aware. Awareness is protection. There is also a quiet restoration happening inside your identity. You are remembering who you were before disappointment reshaped you. Before betrayal hardened you. Before exhaustion dimmed you. God is reconnecting you to your original self. The version of you that believed. The version that dreamed freely. The version that trusted deeply. This is not regression. It is reclamation. God is giving you yourself back, stronger, wiser, and guarded by truth. You may notice blessings beginning in subtle forms. A conversation that heals something old. A message that arrives at the exact right moment. An opportunity that feels aligned instead of forced. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. God often whispers before he shouts. Pay attention to what flows without resistance. What feels peaceful is not accidental. Understand this clearly now. The pain you endured was not ignored. It was recorded. The nights you cried silently were counted. The moments you chose patience instead of bitterness were seen. God does not rush responses. He designs them. And when his response arrives, it addresses more than the pain. It corrects the future. You are stepping into a season where things will make sense in reverse. What confused you before will suddenly click. What delayed you will reveal its purpose. What broke you will become the reason you cannot be broken again. This is not just healing. This is elevation through refinement. Stay steady now. Do not doubt the quiet. Do not fear the pauses. Do not chase validation. What God is doing in your life does not require explanation to anyone else. You are being positioned, protected, prepared. And hear this final truth slowly and clearly, my beloved soul. When God responds to pain, he does not bring revenge. He brings replacement. Replacement of peace. Replacement of love. Replacement of clarity. Replacement of purpose. What you lost will not be returned in the same form. It will be returned better. Deeper. Safer. Aligned. Remain patient. Remain grounded. Remain faithful. This chapter is not ending in loss. It is ending in understanding. And what comes next will feel like relief, not struggle. Stay present. Stay open. God has seen your pain. And his response is already reshaping your life. Stay with me, my beloved soul, because this continuation is where strength is sealed and direction becomes undeniable. What God is doing now is not about noise or proof. It is about internal certainty. You may notice that you are no longer explaining yourself the way you used to. You are no longer defending your heart to people who never tried to understand it. This silence is not weakness. It is sovereignty. When God responds, he teaches you that your peace does not need permission. You are learning that not every misunderstanding requires correction. Some people are not confused. They are simply not aligned. And God is finally freeing you from the burden of trying to be understood by those who were never meant to walk with you into your next chapter. You may also feel a strange detachment from outcomes that once controlled your emotions. Things you prayed desperately for now feel secondary to your inner stability. This is not loss of desire. This is mastery over attachment. God is teaching you how to want without worshiping, how to love without losing yourself, how to hope without breaking when timing delays. This balance is rare. And it only comes after deep pain reshapes your priorities. You are no longer asking life to be easy. You are asking it to be meaningful. There is also a divine strengthening happening in your boundaries. You are saying no without guilt. You are choosing rest without apology. You are protecting your energy without over-explaining. This is not selfishness. This is stewardship. God does not pour new wine into broken containers. He is repairing you so you can carry what is coming without spilling yourself empty. The exhaustion you once felt came from giving without guidance. Now you are learning to give with wisdom. Pay attention to how your reactions are changing. Situations that once triggered fear now only bring awareness. People who once intimidated you no longer hold power over your emotions. This emotional neutrality is a sign of healing reaching completion. God is teaching you emotional authority. You are no longer ruled by moods, memories, or manipulation. You are responding instead of reacting. This is growth that cannot be faked. You may notice that some people suddenly feel uncomfortable around you. Not because you changed into something harsh, but because you changed into something honest. Truth disturbs what benefits from illusion. Your calm exposes chaos. Your clarity reveals avoidance. And your healed presence reminds others of what they avoided healing in themselves. Do not shrink to make others comfortable. God did not heal you so you could return to smallness. Another powerful sign unfolding now is divine timing aligning in unexpected ways. Things you stopped chasing are moving toward you. Conversations you released are resurfacing with new tone. Opportunities you forgot about are reappearing differently. This is alignment catching up. When you stop forcing, God starts arranging. What flows now will feel natural, not draining. If it requires you to abandon your peace, it is not from God. You are also being taught discernment over emotional highs. You are learning that excitement is not always confirmation. Loud promises are not always truth. God is grounding you so you recognize consistency over intensity. This wisdom was earned through disappointment. And it will save you from repeating cycles that once drained you. There may be moments where you feel emotional waves without clear reason. Sudden tears. Sudden gratitude. Sudden release. This is stored pain leaving the body. Healing is not only mental. It is physical. Your nervous system is learning safety again. God is restoring your ability to rest without fear. To relax without waiting for something to go wrong. This is deep healing. You are also entering a season where gratitude will begin replacing survival thinking. You will catch yourself appreciating small things. Silence. Warmth. Kind words. Breath. This gratitude is not forced positivity. It is relief. Relief that the worst is over. Relief that you survived what you thought would destroy you. Relief that God did not let the darkness have the final word. Understand this truth now, my beloved soul. God's response is not always instant change. Sometimes it is internal transformation that prepares you to receive what you asked for without losing yourself. Had certain blessings arrived earlier, they would have broken you. Now you are strong enough to hold them. You are stepping into a season where you will no longer confuse chaos with passion or pain with purpose. Peace will feel attractive now. Stability will feel exciting. Safety will feel romantic. This shift alone is proof that God has been working deeply within you. Do not rush this phase. Do not doubt it. Do not compare it. What God is doing in you is foundational. The next season will build on this strength. And it will not collapse because it is being built on healing, not desperation. Hear this slowly and clearly as this continuation seals the message. The pain you endured was not the end of your story. It was the turning point that awakened your discernment, strengthened your faith, and aligned your spirit with divine timing. You were not ignored. You were being prepared. Stay grounded. Stay patient. Stay open. You are not waiting for God to respond. He already has. And everything unfolding now is proof that your life is moving from survival into purpose. From endurance into alignment. From pain into power. Stay present, my beloved soul, because this continuation is where understanding deepens and your spirit fully accepts what God has already begun. You are entering a phase where you will stop questioning why things happened and start recognizing what they produced within you. The pain refined your perception. It sharpened your discernment. It stripped illusions gently but firmly. You are no longer the version of you that tolerated uncertainty just to feel connection. You are no longer the one who ignored red flags just to avoid loneliness. God used discomfort to awaken wisdom. And wisdom is now guiding your steps quietly but powerfully. You may notice that your heart no longer races toward people the way it once did. You observe more. You feel less rushed. You listen beyond words. This calm observation is not emotional shutdown. It is emotional intelligence. God is teaching you how to see clearly before attaching deeply. This protects your peace and preserves your energy. What once drained you emotionally now simply passes through your awareness without anchoring itself inside you. Another shift happening now is your relationship with time. You are no longer panicking about when things will happen. You are learning to trust how they will happen. This patience is not passive. It is rooted confidence. God is restoring your trust in divine timing. You are realizing that delays did not deny you. They aligned you. What arrives now will stay because it was built in truth, not urgency. You may also feel a deep desire for simplicity. Loud environments feel heavy. Drama feels unnecessary. Chaos feels foreign. This desire is not withdrawal. It is refinement. God is teaching you to protect your nervous system after prolonged emotional stress. Peace is becoming your priority because your soul recognizes its value now. You are choosing environments that nourish instead of excite. This choice will save you from cycles you once repeated unconsciously. There is also a quiet courage forming inside you. You are willing to walk alone if necessary. Not because you lack love, but because you respect yourself. This courage is not loneliness. It is self-trust. God is teaching you that being alone is better than being misaligned. And from this place of wholeness, aligned connections will naturally find you. You may notice moments where gratitude rises unexpectedly. Gratitude for lessons learned. Gratitude for strength gained. Gratitude for clarity earned through tears. This gratitude is proof of healing integration. Pain is no longer controlling the narrative. Wisdom is. God has transformed wounds into understanding. And understanding brings peace. Your identity is also stabilizing. You are no longer defined by what you lost, who left, or what failed. You are redefining yourself by what you survived, what you learned, and what you chose not to become. God is restoring your self-image gently. You are beginning to see yourself through compassion instead of criticism. This is divine healing at work. You may feel moments of silence from God that feel different now. Not abandonment, but trust. God is not distant. He is confident in you. He has given you discernment and strength to walk forward without constant reassurance. This silence is not absence. It is empowerment. You are also becoming aware that not everyone needs access to your inner world. You are protecting your heart wisely now. Selective sharing is not secrecy. It is maturity. God is teaching you how to guard what He healed. There may be moments where memories surface again briefly. But they no longer wound. They remind you of how far you have come. This is emotional closure completing itself. The past no longer pulls you backward. It stands behind you as proof of growth. Understand this deeply now. God's response to your pain was not a single moment. It was a process. A process that rebuilt you layer by layer. You are not the same person who entered the storm. And you were never meant to be. What comes next will feel different because you are different. Love will feel safer. Opportunities will feel aligned. Conversations will feel lighter. Peace will feel normal. This is the reward of endurance. Do not rush this chapter. Do not question it. Do not doubt yourself. You are standing in the aftermath of divine intervention. The pain did not defeat you. It shaped you. Stay grounded. Stay faithful. Stay aware. Your life is no longer unfolding from survival. It is unfolding from wisdom. And that is how you know God truly saw your pain and responded in the most powerful way possible. Stay with this message, my beloved soul, because this continuation is about anchoring what God has done so it never slips away again. You are now standing in a phase where your spirit is learning how to remain steady even when circumstances fluctuate. Before, your peace depended on reassurance, outcomes, or people staying consistent. Now, your peace is rooted deeper. It is internal. It is learned. It is earned. God did not just remove pain from your life. He removed the power pain once had over you. That is why situations that would have shattered you before now only test you briefly. You bend. You feel. But you no longer break. This resilience is not emotional hardness. It is spiritual strength built through endurance. You may notice that you are no longer trying to prove your goodness, your intentions, or your worth. You are resting in who you are. This rest did not come easily. It came through exhaustion. Through trying too hard for too long. God allowed you to reach a point where striving no longer felt possible so surrender could finally feel safe. And now, from surrender, authority has risen. You are no longer asking life for permission. You are walking with quiet confidence. Another shift unfolding is how you experience love and connection. You are no longer chasing intensity. You are drawn to consistency. You are no longer impressed by words. You are grounded by actions. This is not bitterness. This is discernment. God refined your heart so you would recognize the difference between emotional stimulation and genuine safety. What comes into your life next will not feel like chaos dressed as passion. It will feel calm, solid, and trustworthy. That calm is not boredom. It is security. You may also notice that your mind no longer replays old conversations the way it used to. The looping has slowed. The questions have softened. This is mental healing. God has been calming your nervous system piece by piece. You are no longer living in fight or flight. You are learning how to exist without constantly bracing for impact. This is a miracle many people overlook. But peace in the mind is one of the greatest forms of restoration. There may still be moments of emotion. Sudden heaviness. Sudden reflection. Do not fear these moments. They are not setbacks. They are release points. Healing is not linear. It moves in waves. And each wave leaves you lighter than before. God is teaching you how to feel without drowning. How to remember without reliving. How to acknowledge without reopening wounds. You are also beginning to trust yourself again. This is important. Pain often breaks self-trust before anything else. You questioned your choices, your judgment, your heart. God has been rebuilding your confidence from the inside. You are learning that your intuition was never wrong. It was ignored out of fear. Now, you listen. And this listening will guide you safely forward. Notice how your reactions to disappointment have changed. You still feel it. But you no longer spiral. You recover faster. You accept what is revealed instead of fighting it. This acceptance is not resignation. It is wisdom. God is teaching you how to conserve energy for what truly matters. There is also a deeper connection forming between you and silence. Silence no longer feels empty. It feels full. Full of clarity. Full of awareness. Full of presence. God often speaks most clearly when noise leaves. And right now, your life is quieter because it is being guided. You may sense that you are being protected from things you do not even see. Situations that almost happened but did not. Connections that almost formed but faded. This is divine shielding. God is guarding what He healed. You do not need to fight every battle. Many are being handled without your involvement. As you move forward, you will notice that your definition of success is changing. It is no longer about proving anything. It is about alignment. About peace. About sustainability. God is shifting your values so you do not build a future that costs you your soul. Understand this deeply now. What God is doing is permanent because it is rooted in awareness. You cannot unlearn what you have learned. You cannot unsee what you now see. And you cannot return to who you were because you have outgrown that version. The season ahead will feel quieter but richer. Slower but stronger. Less dramatic but more fulfilling. This is the reward of healing. Remain patient with yourself. Remain gentle with your process. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. God saw your pain. He responded with wisdom. And now you are walking forward not as someone who survived, but as someone who understands. Listen closely, my beloved soul, because this continuation is meant to lock everything into place so you never doubt again what God has already done within you. You are now walking in a phase where your spirit is no longer fragile, even though it remains gentle. There is a difference. Fragility comes from fear. Gentleness comes from strength. You have learned how to carry softness without allowing it to be exploited. This balance was forged in pain. God taught you how to love without bleeding, how to care without collapsing, how to stay kind without abandoning yourself. This is not something books teach. This is wisdom earned through survival. You may notice that your emotional reactions are now delayed, not because you are disconnected, but because you are discerning. You pause. You observe. You breathe. This pause is powerful. It protects you from impulsive decisions and emotional traps. God has trained your nervous system to slow down so your spirit can lead instead of fear. Where you once reacted immediately, you now respond intentionally. That shift alone has changed your entire future. There is also a deep internal restructuring happening in how you view people. You no longer romanticize potential. You no longer fall in love with promises. You see patterns clearly now. You value consistency over chemistry. You respect effort over charm. This clarity was born from disappointment, but it has matured into wisdom. God removed illusion from your eyes so you would stop falling for the same lessons in different forms. You may feel a stronger pull toward authenticity. You no longer want to perform. You no longer want to impress. You want to be real. This desire is not rebellion. It is alignment. God is stripping you of masks so you can live honestly and attract relationships that see you, not the version of you that tried too hard. When you live in truth, you no longer attract confusion. Another powerful sign of God's response is how your self-talk has changed. You are no longer as harsh with yourself. You no longer punish yourself for mistakes you made while trying to survive. Compassion has replaced condemnation. God has softened your inner voice because healing cannot grow in a hostile environment. The way you speak to yourself now is evidence of divine restoration. You may also notice that your body feels different. Less tension. Less restlessness. More grounded. Trauma does not only live in the mind. It lives in the body. God has been releasing stored stress from your system gradually so your body can finally rest. This is why you may crave sleep, solitude, or stillness. This is not laziness. This is recovery. Your priorities are also shifting. What once felt urgent no longer does. What once felt important now feels empty. You are being guided toward what nourishes your soul instead of what feeds your ego. God is refining your appetite so you stop craving things that cost you your peace. You may sense a quiet confidence growing. Not loud. Not boastful. Just steady. You trust yourself more now. You trust God more now. You are no longer terrified of the unknown because you know you can survive whatever comes. This confidence is not arrogance. It is grounded faith. There will be moments where you look back and feel compassion for your old self. The one who tried. The one who waited. The one who hoped despite everything. Do not judge that version. Honor them. They carried you here. God honors them too. You are also learning the power of detachment. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop clinging. You are learning how to release outcomes and trust God's orchestration. This freedom has lightened your spirit. What is meant for you will not require anxiety to maintain. There may be moments where old fears try to resurface. When they do, notice how quickly they fade now. They no longer control you. They visit, but they do not stay. This is proof of healing integration. Understand this deeply now, my beloved soul. God did not just respond to your pain by changing circumstances. He responded by changing you. And because you are changed, your circumstances will never hurt you the same way again. The season ahead will not be perfect. But it will be peaceful. Challenges may come, but they will not shake your foundation. You are building from truth now, not survival. Do not rush forward. Walk steadily. What is coming is not meant to overwhelm you. It is meant to meet you where you are. Remain patient. Remain grounded. Remain open. This is not the end of the message. This is the beginning of a life lived with clarity, strength, and quiet faith. God saw your pain. He responded with precision. And now you are living proof that healing is real, alignment is possible, and peace is your new normal. Stay with me, my beloved soul, because this final continuation is meant to seal everything, to close this chapter with strength, clarity, and unshakable faith. What you are stepping into now is not recovery. It is embodiment. You are no longer healing in theory. You are living as someone who has healed. And there is a quiet authority that comes with that. You no longer need to announce your growth. It speaks through your stillness. Through your boundaries. Through the calm way you move through situations that once consumed you. God has not just lifted you out of pain. He has taught you how to walk without falling back into it. You may notice now that your presence alone changes rooms. Not because you demand attention, but because you carry peace. And peace disrupts chaos. People may feel calmer around you or strangely uncomfortable. Both reactions are signs. Your energy is no longer negotiable. God has marked you with discernment and stability. What does not align will feel exposed in your presence. That is not your responsibility to fix. It is simply truth revealing itself. There was a time when you needed constant reassurance. When silence felt like rejection. When uncertainty felt unbearable. That version of you was not weak. They were wounded. And God honored that version by carrying them gently through the storm. But now you are different. Silence no longer scares you. You understand that quiet does not mean abandonment. Sometimes it means God is trusting you to stand on your own strength. This trust is earned. You are also stepping into emotional independence. This does not mean isolation. It means you are no longer emotionally dependent on outcomes, people, or validation. You enjoy connection, but you do not collapse without it. You love deeply, but you do not disappear inside others. God restored your center. And because you are centered, nothing external can knock you off balance the way it once did. Pay attention to how your desires have matured. You no longer crave intensity for the sake of feeling alive. You crave depth, safety, mutual respect. You want connections that grow slowly and honestly. This is not settling. This is wisdom. God refined your heart so you would stop confusing emotional chaos with destiny. What is meant for you will feel steady, not consuming. There is also a powerful acceptance settling in. Acceptance of what happened. Acceptance of what could not be saved. Acceptance of what had to end. This acceptance is not defeat. It is closure. Closure is not something others give you. It is something God gives you internally when the lesson is complete. And the lesson is complete now. You may feel moments of gratitude for the very pain you once begged God to remove. Not because the pain was good, but because of who you became through it. Strength was born. Discernment was activated. Faith was deepened. You would not choose the pain again. But you would not trade the growth either. That is spiritual maturity. You are also becoming more selective with your energy. Not everything deserves your reaction. Not everyone deserves access. Not every battle deserves your participation. God has taught you restraint. And restraint is power. You no longer waste energy explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. Peace has become your priority, not proving your point. There will be moments ahead where life tests this new version of you. Not to break you, but to show you how far you have come. Situations will arise that once would have shattered your confidence. This time, you will handle them differently. Calmer. Clearer. Stronger. And you will realize that the pain no longer controls you. Understand this deeply now. God's response to your pain was layered. He healed your heart. He restored your mind. He strengthened your boundaries. He refined your discernment. He realigned your desires. Nothing was wasted. Every tear contributed to the person you are now becoming. You are no longer living in reaction to the past. You are living in alignment with your future. And that future does not require you to suffer to be worthy. You are already worthy. This chapter is closing not with regret, but with gratitude. Not with bitterness, but with understanding. Not with fear, but with faith. So hear this final truth slowly, and let it settle into your spirit. God saw your pain. Every moment of it. And He responded not just by changing circumstances, but by transforming you into someone who can never be broken the same way again. Stay grounded. Stay faithful. Stay true to who you have become. This is the end of this message. And the beginning of a life led by clarity, peace, and quiet power.